Hello, everyone. It's May 25, 2021. It's actually the birthday of my cousin, Maloney. She's actually always baked. So if you want to check out chocolate cookies, go to Instagram, always bake PH. Just find her, and you can actually get the most overweight chocolate chip sea salt cookies that you can find. Always bake PH, this one. Happy birthday to my cousin, Malon. Okay, just want to share to you guys the top news for the day. I'm going to share to you a few things. So this one is actually a screenshot of IBKR's trade station. I figured that IBKR is still the cheapest way to generate your trades and investments in the global stock markets without having to open several accounts. So I do use IBKR. I'm not a paid affiliate, but this is just one of the functions that's for free. You can actually check on IBKR's trade station. So you're seeing right now that a lot of logistics automation companies are saying that demand has grown during the pandemic. Companies are still coping with the big swings in volume in a very tight hiring market. Actually, in the US, people are very picky right now with wages. We are seeing actually wage growth all across the board. And a lot of Americans are actually opting to choose the jobs that they want. So you're seeing actually that the pandemic disrupted supply chains are needing a lot of robots right now to cater to this surging online demand for everything, whether it be frozen food or even furniture. So that has accelerated the adoption of robots and other technology stocks in the sector that relies on the workers that are still pulling carts. So a few things to understand. Kenco is rolling out a fleet of self-driving robots, bridging a labor gap, helping workers fill orders online. I saw here that XPO Logistics is actually using more robots in their warehousing operations as they want to increase efficiency. So far, the current robots have increased their efficiency by 6 times. They want to double the number of their robots in the warehouses this year. Users are saying that mobile robots and other logistics technology is also boosting output and efficiency, helping businesses handle sudden spikes in demand without having to invest in millions of dollars of fixed infrastructure. Take note that Amazon is planning to hire 75,000 warehouse workers this year. Logistics staffing firm Pro Logistics, which works with companies, includes Walmart and Target, and says their average pay right now for warehouse workers is now $16.58 an hour. In April, it's already up 10% from last year, 2020. So we're seeing an increase in wages, and we're also seeing actually Crocs. A lot of the rising of foam plastic footwear, or basically comfortable shoes. We're seeing holiday season spike. Crocs continues to go up, and mobile robots from Six River Systems is actually the one being used by Shopify as well. Company is now supporting itself with more robots than ever. Seattle-based sports gear and apparel retailer Evo also generates 70% of its the boosted business from online sales. They're considering automation even before the pandemic made hiring even tougher. And with high wages growth, I'd say that this already happened in China. And it's also happening right now in USA with increasing labor wages. We will see more and more companies adopt and fill their labor gap with logistics robots. This tells you that the companies like RAAC, XPO will actually do well. Let me just share to you these certain companies. RAAC is Berkshire Grey. This is a SPAC. It's still at $10. Right now, you know that all the SPACs have fallen down, especially back to 10. But this one is going to be accelerating. It's good for you to know that the demand is very strong. XPO Logistics is actually doing a lot of automation warehousing. Take note that if it's not a SPAC, the actual trend is actually uptrend, which tells you that the SPAC is actually going to be poised to go up when the SPAC winter is over, which in my view is going to happen maybe within the next 2 to 3 months. Why am I saying that the SPAC winter might be over in the next 3 months? If you're in the right sector, people will somehow see and compare how XPO Logistics is doing versus the SPACs that are actually doing automation robots. I want to show to you a few automation stocks. IPHI, INVZ Corporation. Wait, let me see. INVZ, also that, take a look. All of these are robot-related companies. They're actually doing very well. So automation, in my view, is also a truth in Baidu. So given the 50% drop in the ARK Eagles fund, please don't forget your fundamentals. I believe that Baidu is going to go back up to 250 in the next coming, if it's not 3 months, maybe 6 months. But you've got the best in class automation stocks in Baidu, RAAC, you've got XPO Logistics, and of course, INFI, so IPHI. Cognex should also do well, also in the automation space, CGNX. So you'll see that these consolidations are actually bullish formations. Any drops of Cognex back to about $63, if there's ever a drop below 10-20%, I'd say that it's a buying area. So I'm willing to buy it here at about June, July 2020 levels of about $65 below. I want to also share more news. Okay, so the wage growth is spurring an acceleration of robots. Take note that all these robots are seeing with eyes of the LiDAR. So the eyes of every robot is either OUST and INVZ, and we are still seeing that this is a consolidation. You're seeing 8, 10, 11. Eventually, guys, this consolidation will be over. I do believe that OUST goes back up to $17. Give it about a year, it will. Now, INVZ is also going to do well. It is already a definitive client of Harman, which is the owner of the robotics for all the Samsung-related needs and all the Samsung-related robots. So this is going to be a primary catalyst. This movement right now is called what I mean a consolidation. As it goes 10, 9, I'd say that any $9 in these levels are buying areas. So you want to actually be bullish in the automation secular trend. Go for INVZ. Go for INVZ and Ouster 9 below. Go for RAAC. If you can even buy RAAC at 9, sure, go ahead. Then of course, those 3 SPACs are gonna do well for you. Then for Chinese automation, go for Baidu, and you'll do well. I think that also for Velodyne LiDAR, you want to actually enter this as well near 9. So while these SPAC winters happening, don't forget where the value and the real secular trend winners are. So you won't be able to actually get lost. These are actually buying opportunities if these fall $9 below. Velodyne LiDAR, Ouster, INVZ, 999, or even 888 should be a good entry for you. Now let's take a look at further news for you. Amazon is nearing a deal to buy Hollywood studio MGM. This deal is going to be for Rocky and James Bond. This will mark the company's second largest ever acquisition. It's going to be $9 billion. This is actually behind the $13.7 billion of Whole Foods in 2017. This is actually the primary bet of Amazon Prime Video to really force consolidation in the streaming war, driving all the big players to bulk up with assets, helping them compete. In fact, I remember when AMC was trading at $4 and $3 and $5, I remember that there was a deal that Amazon was looking to buy AMC. People are also saying that Viacom is up for grabs. All of these smaller players are going to get bought out eventually. And we do see that consolidation happening. AT&T just marked a combination with Discovery for their HBO Max and further media consolidation. So it's going to be perhaps 5 big streaming companies in the future. Of course, Netflix is there, Disney is there, Amazon Prime Video with this boost is going to be well. I'm not sure if Apple TV is planning for acquisitions, could be. So what is this acquisition going to be? MGM also is the owner of a ton of library, including James Bond franchise. They own Pink Panther, Singing in the Rain, and it's going to be positive, of course, for MGM. So very good job for this consolidation. It actually tells me that because of this deal, it tells me that the streaming wars is going to become bigger and bigger. Makes you very bullish with Roku, makes you very bullish with your Disney, Netflix, and overall, even Fubo TV with the rise of sports demand right now, really doing well. So with sports, we're actually very bullish with DraftKings and Penn, and we actually advocated buying a ton of that. Take note that this very good news, US is now averaging at 11-month lows in terms of COVID cases. So far, 2 million doses of vaccine are administered every day for the past week. I've seen that in US, we're hitting about 75% of the population has already been vaccinated, or more than 250 million uh, Americans. And we're seeing in the next 4 months a total vaccination, and probably others have already, we're seeing 4 months and that's it. COVID is finally over for US. US cases and COVID just fell below 30,000. Nation is getting vaccinated. Average has been very strong. Average 7-day average used to be not right now. It's 25,000. We're estimating that's gonna fall lower and lower. So they're breaking down, which is a good thing, guys. U.S. COVID cases are breaking down, and so far they're saying there's only 12,000 new COVID cases for Sunday. This is down from 16,000 cases a week earlier. Hospitalizations have also been easing. There were only 190 deaths reported from about 262 a week earlier. And worldwide, so more than 1.68 billion cases have already been vaccinated worldwide. So that's a good thing for the world. And as for the labor wage growth, just wanted to share that it's not just in US, not just in China, but also in Korea. Korea's cacao employee got a big pay raise of about 35%, with their average salaries above $89,000. This is just a bump in another technology wave wherein, brain drain. This is a way for all the technology giants to really keep their talent. South Korea's chat operator Kakao has paid 35% higher. Average salary is $90,000. In fact, game developer NCSoft is the second most generous employer in Korea. They raised their wages by 22%. They're now paying their average employee $105 million, or more than $90,000. So internet giant Naver paid out 100 million won in salary in average as well last year, 20% up year on year. Samsung Biologics up 10% in wages. Samsung Electronics 17% in wages. Samsung Life 13%, 12%. This pay raise, however, differed a little bit by gender. Male workers on average received 100 million, up 5%. Female workers were paid 72 million, up 5% year on year. Kakao gave the most handsome pay raise to its male workers, 132 million won on average. That's approximately $125,000 a year, up 43% year on year. Female workers had 16% pay raise. All I can say is that it's good to be in technology, and you've got pay raises. That is actually a good thing in consumer spending. Now, Asia Pacific, with the rise of e-commerce, is now forecasted to reach $2 trillion e-commerce in 5 years' time. That's a huge jump. For your information, they were thinking that, so in China, just for perspective, China's sales right now is $3 trillion. For ASEAN to actually reach $2 trillion in 5 years, the big winners, of course, is Sea Limited and Alibaba. So Asia Pacific is expected to nearly double, or a growth stock, basically, according to global market research company Euromonitor. Region is expected to see the highest retail sales growth in the next 5 years, followed by Latin America, which is Mercado Libre. And for those who are aware, Sea Limited is also in Brazil. So this news is a huge buy, or a bullish, huge bullish signal for all the Sea Limited shareholders in the world. Actually, Sea Limited just rose 30% already for the week. From a drop of $200, it's now trading at $256, nearing $260. I wouldn't be surprised if Sea Limited is projected to grow to $500 to $1,000 in 5 years' time. So last year, businesses received online have grown 37% and is expected to reach 44% by 2025. Extremely tech-savvy consumer segments in the region of Asia Pacific with mobile connection and digital transformation means that shopping industry for Asia is going to be very essential, whether it be supermarket, whether it be personalizing the retail experience. And Euromonitor's senior research analyst said, as consumers connect and shop online more than ever, an increasing number of brands are expected to tap into social media to virtually engage and build trust with their consumers in addition to serving as retail entertainment. I have to say that this is a huge win, again, for your Google and for your Facebook, because when it comes to digital advertising, look no further. It's already beholden by these two entities alone. Okay, another news for the reopening and the bullish trend to actually continue. We have been explaining in last Friday's report. We were saying in our master class, have the growth stocks bottomed and what should your portfolio look like? We said that the portfolio has to have the growth stocks because they're still great, but also you have, especially, and we always said that they actually bottomed after a 30 to 50% drop, primarily because they rose 10x in the first place. Some of these companies went 8x, 10x in a year. The drop was just a consolidation of profit taking, nothing wrong in their bullish secular trend. Take note as well, we also added a lot of reopening themes. We said you go add sports bookings, like a sports bookie. The biggest would be DraftKings. Also add FanDuel, which is FanDuel is owned by London's Flutter Entertainment, the largest. Also, of course, you got Barstool Sports, which is dominated by Penn National Gaming. And in Canada, the biggest is SCR, which is Score Media. So really great companies that you can actually have. This COVID-19 tracker tells you that Airbnb, Disney is also going to win massively. When there are questions, when will life return to normal? The best vaccines are 95% effective, and the US population, as I said, took away the mask. You can go to NBA and you can watch playoffs yet again. 1 billion exhalations of relief. So far, 1 billion doses have been given worldwide. On a global scale, we're actually vaccinating 30 million people a day. And within a month, we will get 900 million vaccinated. In about 4 months, we'll get about 3.6 to 4 billion people vaccinated. That's a great way for the world to recover. Take note, more than 1.68 kilowatt, para madaling tandaan, more than a 1.68 billion globally have been administered doses. Mainland China, 510, US, 290 million, EU 222, India 200, Brazil 60, UK 60, Germany 44. Now, despite all these vaccination progress, I'd say that the world is still, of course, not as likely to rebound that fast. That said, we know that since the stock market is a leading indicator for the next 1 year, you are already seeing that the market is basically willing to tolerate any bad news from any airline or any travel-related name, and they're buying all those dips. We are seeing that the market is buying all the department stores, all the apparel retail, all the outdoors wear. Basically, we are seeing the reopening glory to continue their momentum, similar as well to casinos. So you're seeing vaccine makers pledging 700 million doses for the US by the end of July, covering more than 400 million people. You've got Johnson & Johnson, Moderna, Pfizer. That means that it's more than enough to cover the entire America. And as for the reopening, I have to say that EMC and GME, the favorite meme stocks of USA, has been growing. And of course, I want to say that is a basic play on movies, theaters, and of course, your resumption with your retail. Now, I want to share to you that the most expected film to really rack up that worldwide sales is Fast and the Furious 9. That's called F9. And F9 so far has grossed $160 million in 8 markets, showing their strength in China, Korea, and Hong Kong. It's going to be released in US in June 25. I expect more jumps in Comcast and more jumps in Disney. So definitely, you'll really get your portfolio up and running to all-time highs if you've got these stocks in your portfolio. Disneyland is also serving their $100 sandwich. Just for your information, that panini that costs $100 is enough to feed a family of 8 people. It has salami, rosemary, ham, provolone, and tomato spread on toasted focaccia. A lot of people are really happy to go back to Disney California and California Adventure. I'm pretty sure that a lot of travel-related companies, Expedia, TripAdvisor, Booking, Airbnb, are really, as Brian Chesky said, very ready for the travel revenge of their words, not mine, of the century. This is Comcast. Look no further. All that pent up demand for traveling is really going to benefit Universal Studios, which is definitely owned by Comcast. This is rising from 30 to 55. I wouldn't be surprised this goes above $60 in the next 6 months or so. Sans China is in Macau. We are seeing travel visas being issued. Chinese people may go back to Macau. Macau can go to China. I think that you'll get more run-ups and more recovery starting October. And Sans China, which is the owner of Venetian, is going to do well. You're seeing already that jump. You're already seeing higher lows, reopening, glorious. Okay, that $34 looks to see about $40 at the very least. Melco also doing well, slow but sure. It's slowly rising, these casinos. So you're seeing a range play right now, perhaps 14 to 18. Right now, I think this will be a sustainable jump. So it's not going to be a cyclical, at least for the next 1 to 2 years. Expect resorts and casinos to really rise. MGM rallied last night, of course, 5% on that approach of Amazon to buy their studios. And of course, people are very bullish, not just in their studios, in their Hollywood studios, but definitely in their resorts in Las Vegas. DraftKings doing so well. All the jam-packed crowds in NBA tells you that sports betting is well and alive. And also, for those who aren't aware, I think there's another state, I think it was Delaware or Illinois, that actually approved sports betting legalization. DraftKings is already legal in America, and more states are adopting that. Therefore, when you're watching an NBA game, definitely sure that bookies are happy, and that main bookie is DraftKings. So I expect DraftKings to go back to $56 and even $60 in the next coming weeks or months. Neo is the reason why I have this news for you is that Neo just ramped up, made the production joint venture with SAC Motors. I'm gonna read to you the exact news here. Neo on the EV segment, the Chinese company is expected to grow to about 4x in terms of their vehicle sales, and so they're actually ramping up their production. Okay, so NIO is signing a major production agreement. May 24, 2021, Jack manufacturing agreement has been extended for 3 more years so that they could increase their production to 240,000 units a year. Now, for those who are not familiar with NIO, right now, NIO is working with companies to manufacture their own vehicles. Is a major, for Jack, it's a major state-owned automobile manufacturer. The Hefei Jack NIO manufacturing plant is designed and constructed for NIO vehicles for their ES8, ES6, and EC6. Jack is Jianghuai Automobile Group. This is Shanghai Advanced Manufacturing Technology in Anhui and Jianglai. It's a joint venture established by Jack and NIO, where NIO is holding a 49% equity interest. They detailed the renewal of the deal to extend until May 2024 to expand their capacity to 240,000 units to double their production, and that's a great thing. NIO's growth is, of course, dependent on production agreement, and therefore, with this massive facility, it's going to be supposedly 12 times larger than the size of Tesla's Fremont plant, with ability to produce 1 million vehicles per year someday. Moving forward, the growth of NIO is expected to more than triple the revenues from their quarter in the graphic below. Let me show to you. This is quarter 2, 2021. The growth in sales is expected to from 1.29 billion to hit approximately $5 billion in 3 years' time. So definitely NIO as a growth stock is a stock to watch. And you want to actually see that the chart right now has already double, there's a lot of double bottom. This was the March 2021 lows, and this is the May 14, 2021 lows. March and May was double bottom. Assuming that it has a resistance here at $40, I do expect that people will trade the range. This is an expected consolidation. Any drops will be bought. 50% drop from 63 to 31, but obviously this is 30x from the $1 low if you bought NIO since $1. That said, if any profit taking will continue to ensue, be aware that NIO is poised to double, triple your money in the next 5 to 10 years. So this is really a great company to buy. a drop like that is not a problem because I do believe that NIO is going to hit all-time highs. If it's not this year, then next year, then next year. Definitely a stock to own. At Census Surgical, we are seeing that as I said, some stocks have been double bottoming and actually a strong move. This was $1 here, rallied to $2.50. Yes, you heard me right. That is sorry, that's not $1. This was about 1.3, I think 1.3, 1.4 here. So still approximately more than 70% from its lows. We are seeing the same thing happen when it revisited the main lows, was actually a higher low. So I was saying that market has been bottoming after a capitulation drop, even on the small caps at 80% down. So a Census Surgical, I do see people selling at $2.30 to $3, but definitely a Census will have a buyer again at 1.5. These are trading ranges that we believe eventually goes up 100%. So you don't want to miss out on robotic surgery. A Census Surgical is Senhan Systems. Again, laparoscopic surgery. For those who aren't aware, buy it at $1.50, you'll make some money. Global Star, we are seeing strong movements from $1 to $2. That's approximate $1 to $1.60, a 60% increase. Definitely, this was just a normal profit taking. After a 70% drop, I'm seeing that the small caps that have a legit client, a legit business, FDA clearance for Senhan Systems. For Global Star, you've got Qualcomm on your client list. I do think that satellite for broadband connectivity is really going to do very well. Therefore, any drops again for Global Star at $1 is a buy. Any rallies at 160 might be tamed. You're seeing actually last night, you're seeing already the confirmation of that leading indicator that they're dropping and actually being taken profits from. So 50 to 60% rise within a 2-week span. Yes, we're getting some sell-offs. Newmont Corporation, I wanted to share this because I am very bullish in gold. You're seeing quite strong breakouts in gold. Newmont Corporation is one of the largest gold miners in the world. I'm seeing any drops at 70 below is a buying opportunity for Newmont. And I wanted to share that this 85% drop on EHang is likely a support. We are seeing a potential 40% rise from 21 to as high as 28, 29. We want to see and buy an oversold name, just like what happened with ABML, ASXC, GSAT, and even Bingo. Take note what happened with Unity. This was a lower low from March to May, but a quick rebound nonetheless. There will be some selling pressure here at 100 to 110. We will see some profit taking there, but any drops, let's say June or August, you will see that drops. In my view, either a lower, if it goes lower low, this will be really supported at $70. But my assumption is first look what happens in June and July on how these will shape up. It could actually just consolidate with a higher low at 85. Shake Shack, after a bad number, I do think that would not actually be forever. The drop to about $85 to $70. If a 50% drop on Shake Shack materializes, I'd say that Shake Shack will give you an opportunity. That price, similar to November, is just when we announced the vaccination of so many people. Biden actually approved a lot of vaccinations. One of his first tasks in his first 100 days of presidency. Very good job for the Biden administration. I'd say that Shake Shack and a lot of dine-in restaurants will benefit. And so these drops are really blessings and opportunities. Beyond Meat has risen 10% last night because of an upgrade. But I do believe that it's also a fact that Beyond Meat has fallen 50% already from its peak. And it's actually in a trading range. Why are people actually bullish on Beyond Meat? It's possibly because of the partnerships. With restaurants recovering, you know that Starbucks has Beyond Meat sandwiches. You know that Tim Hortons has Beyond Meat sandwiches. McDonald's has Beyond Meat sandwiches. Dunkin' Donuts has a partnership with Beyond Meat. KFC has a Beyond Meat chicken nuggets. Basically, guys, when you're going out, when you're dining outside, the recovery of restaurants is very bullish with Beyond Meat. Therefore, I do see that this is being played as a recovery of restaurants because Beyond Meat is an ingredient in that restaurant. Okay? So Fubo TV, I think, is also going to benefit with the on-stream of sports playoffs. Fubo TV is a direct niche streaming for sports and sports betting. You've got this $60 dropping to about $20 today. It's down 76% from its peak. I'd like to say that I agree that this one will go up to 25. Some people actually tried to be bullish in January on 25, and this was the March lows of 25. I'd say that at $20, it's actually still about 20% discount from that 25. I do think that there will be people who would buy at 21 and sell at 25 in the short term. But there's also a crowd of people who sees, hey, this is actually a resumption, this is a sport event reopening play. This is not a simple streaming play. This is my reopening play. So I'm going to play this from $20 all the way to $30 or even $40. This is going to be an exciting stock for your reopening plays. Observation for also strongest moves. Shopify, C Limited, very strong. Cloudflare, Roku, Disney, Comcast, Roblox, Fiverr. These stocks are not normally what you'll say as value stocks. These are growth stock names, and yet they're very strong. NVIDIA is also very strong. This tells me that the market is willing to pay for growth and pay for a premium for that. And I don't think that growth stocks are far. I don't think that growth stocks have more leeway to fall. If they would fall, it's just gonna be a retest. Example: Shopify will retest $1,050. C Limited will retest $210. Cloudflare, I'm not quite sure. We'll see. But if it never really breaks below 65, that means that net is actually gaining ground against the expense of at the expense of course, Akamai, Limelight, and Fastly. Roku, Disney, Comcast, very strong. Roblox, Fiverr, very strong. This is really I'd say that we are in a very strong market, guys. So hold your positions, especially your winners. There's a question: has the cannabis stocks bottomed already? Good question. For cannabis, I'm not quite buying yet. Usually for cannabis, I take a look at AgriFi and the Grow Generation. This is Hexo so far. This is your lows in April. I think that you could retest Hexo back at $5. Could be trading a range 5 to 7. I'm not quite sure with cannabis yet. Organigram still actually just trading in a small, so it's trying to bottom out after a 65% drop. Grow Generation is my preference, but this has not fallen down as much as I would want. It's actually just down 48%, but I'd say that $34, there are buyers in Grow Generation. AgriFi is my preference on playing this cannabis trend. Down 70%. I find value in this controlled environment agriculture indoor farmer, and I find all the cannabis companies to actually be their client. So multi-state cannabis operators are already using the best-in-class indoor farmers. AgriFi is one of them. I'd say Spring Valley is a great meme. I actually play it more on the cannabis and indoor farming play. So I also look at App Harvest. This seems to be a bottoming out play. $11, probably going to go back up to $18, and it's going to be really a rebound and a range play in the short term, but really over time going up. So I'm very bullish in the markets. But for cannabis, it's not yet my priority. If cannabis, go for AgriFi. AgriFi and Grow Generation. Some people are playing the meme stocks in this region, the 80% drop of Sundial. I'd say that 70 cents to 60 cents. There are some people who are playing this like a GME stock. So that's how I'll answer the cannabis. All right. So thank you very much for watching. And just wanted to share as well that you can follow me and copy my trades. It's public. I'm public in eToro. You're seeing that sorry. So I have an IBKR account. I also have my own eToro account. You're seeing that the rises are actually very strong here because it's 5 times levered. For instance, for NVIDIA, I'm 5 times leverage. So a 10% increase is like 50% increase, or an 7% increase is like 37% increase here. I'm very bullish on these names. So far we have greens, and these reds, I'm not really bearish on them. It's fine. JD and long, I can see it going down to about 67 or 69, but any drops will be muted because JD Logistics IPO is coming soon. Take a look at JD Logistics IPO. The IPO is near the bottom of the range. People are actually set to raise $3.2 billion. I'm very bullish on these delivery giants. And this is actually, of course, the primary cash flow. It's profitable already for JD. So I'm okay with this. The logistics arm of Chinese e-commerce giant JD is getting $5.20. And then the IPO will be priced between 39 and 43. Okay, that's okay with me. This one is going to be beneficial for JD and very strong. I want to share as well Alibaba. These are some of my losers so far, but I'm actually looking to buy more. I've been buying at $210, $200, 220 actually even. So you're seeing that my BABA is costing $213. The reason why this is 8% down, don't worry about this. This is actually 5x lever. So actually, I'm just down 1.6%. All of my downs here are negligible, guys, because these are 5x leverage. I'm 5x levered long on Alibaba, which means it's just like 2%. All of my drops are actually less than 4% loss. So in case that you're wondering, yes, I'm very bullish. I'm actually confident that my eToro account will break all-time highs next week, if not this week. So very bullish. See that. I hope that your portfolios are doing well. You can actually copy me someday, or just copy me publicly. I think that my copy portfolios are already. So the people who can copy me are already fully booked. So you can also watch this. Have the high growth stocks bottom. Like, follow, and subscribe to Awesome 10x Investing. I'm bullish on many names, even so you just heard me say that I'm bullish on some SPACs. Oh, I forgot to share to you. The SPACs, in my view, are still going to be in winterland, maybe in the next month or so. But with so much great activity in their fundamentals, you're seeing that changes in names are making the SPACs actually become tradable as real stocks. So for instance, IPOE, which was SoFi, great numbers. You're seeing actually that while there will be selling pressure at 1 year 22, I'm pretty sure that when SoFi drops back to about $15, there's definitely a lot of buyers who are looking at SoFi really as their fintech play to challenge Square dominance in the next couple of years. Also, take a note, all of the growth stocks have been rising. As we said, we believe that the growth stocks have bottomed out around May 14. Either it was a triple bottom or a higher low. In this case, for Square, it was more like a triple, quadruple bottom. And we don't see this actually rotting in hell. We see it actually rising to 240 again. Look at all the growth stocks. Some growth stocks are falling down. Etsy is a different animal. It could actually, in my view, fall because of bad numbers. Let's say it's not 60% down. Let's assume that it's just dropping about, well, so far it's dropped about 40%, right? 40%. Perhaps a 50% drop is enough. So take a look at some names that everybody likes, but we are quite bearish upon. So not all growth stocks are the same. Some names are expected to drop. Pinterest is good, so I'm expecting this to rise. So even if this one went only 37% down, we've been bullish on this. Also bullish on Twitter. Also bullish. Actually, Snapchat I didn't study, but very strong as well. Quite a strong rebound in Snapchat. Tells you that the market is very bullish on these social media giants, or even the social media small ones. Belly consolidating. I'd say that there will be some selling pressure at 120. Futu, I like this. Somebody asked me, Nikki, what do you think about brokerage firms? I said I like Chinese brokerage firms more. This, of course, the Robinhood of China. I was thinking that it could probably drop to $80 or 60% down. But with the looks of this, if we don't drop in June or July, if we actually just steadily double, triple bottom here at $100, it's also possible. So I think that what we are really seeing, guys, is consolidation range. And definitely very bullish. Happy to say the last night Tesla and Bitcoin bounced. So that's actually contributing to the growth stocks. However, take note that Tesla has a resistance here at $680. Take note as well that BTC USD has resistances here at $47,000. So that will be approximately about 10% further. So you can still make 10% on Tesla. That means that from a judgment perspective, I'd say that my account will go about 10 to 20% within a week before I unload. Okay, thank you very much and bye-bye.